Chosen ones, something happened last night. It's something so important that even the archangels are amazed by it. It was something so powerful that even heaven seemed to take a moment to watch. You won't believe what happened while you were sleeping. It's something so extraordinary that it's already changed your reality, and you need to hear about it right now. You haven't realized it yet, have you? The chosen one. Can you just pause for a moment and really pay attention? Last night, while you were catching some sleep, your spirit was out and about. Even when you felt like nothing was going on, a lot was actually happening. While you were out cold in the natural world, something pretty wild happened. A supernatural deal that even the top angels in heaven are still trying to wrap their heads around. You really need to hear this message right now, because what went down last night has kicked off a series of events that will show up in your life in just a few days. This isn't symbolic language. This doesn't really feel like poetic imagery. This is the actual spiritual reality. The archangels, those powerful warriors of heaven who are right there in God's presence, are taken aback. It's not that something bad happened. It's that something really amazing, totally unexpected, and unlike anything before just unfolded, catching even them off guard. You were right in the middle of it all. So, let me tell you about what went down last night. While you were catching some sleep, there was a little gathering up in heaven. The books got opened up. I heard your name mentioned. Angels shared updates about how faithful you are, how you keep going, and how obedient you've been. They captured every fear you shed in silence, every prayer you murmured in hope, every time you decide to believe, even when everything around you suggests you should doubt. As the reports were shared, something occurred that left the archangels in shock. When God speaks, you can bet creation listens and responds. He said that the time of testing in your life is done. Last night, that understanding came alive again in the skies. It's not some distant prophecy we're waiting for. It's a moment that's already in motion. You're not just wandering around for no reason. You're strolling along, feeling the impact of something truly extraordinary. And even now, that power is right there with you. That dream you had, the tight feeling in your chest, and the clear thoughts you woke up with this morning. It's all connected. Trust me. It's just some leftover stuff. Last night, something truly special made its way into your life. This place is really special. We're giving your story a fresh take. It wasn't you who did it, but him. Isaiah 43, verse 19. The change is happening, but it's up to you to embrace it. As you move into this amazing role, I encourage you to share your readiness. Drop an amen in the comments below. It's a way to show that you're ready to embrace your God-given purpose and stick with this message all the way through. We'll wrap things up with a powerful prayer to help align your heart with what heaven has already started and chosen one. Just take a moment to tune in with your spirit. Forget about your mind and emotions for a bit and connect with that part of you that holds on to the memory of heaven. Last night was more than just a shift. It was a moment of truth. As your body rested peacefully in the stillness of the night, everything that was meant for you before you even came into this world was drawn from the heavenly archives. It hasn't been reviewed yet. They didn't suggest it. It was put into action, just like it says in Psalm 33, verse 11. But you know, the plans of the Lord really do stand firm forever. The intentions of his heart across all generations. What was decided about you wasn't just a hope. It had a purpose, and there's no way that purpose is going to be wiped away. The courts of the Almighty came together, not due to a crisis, but because the time had finally come. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 says, "There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." So, last night was a turning point for your season. It's not about anything you did or didn't do. It's just that heaven always remembers the promises made for your life. So, this is why the archangel just paused for a moment. This is the reason heaven held its breath. The verdict about your life wasn't just a simple yes or no. It was a complete turnaround. It's been years of waiting, a quiet struggle, those prayers you felt were lost in the void, and times when hope just seemed to fade away. It was always remembered. Every little bit of faith, every quiet plea, every kind gesture done behind the scenes, they were all noted down. So, as Revelation 8, verse 4 tells us, the smoke of the incense mixed with the prayers of God's people rose up to God from the angel's hand. Your prayers have gone up, and now they're coming back like thunder. What used to be hidden is coming to light. What was once quiet is now being brought to light. When your scroll was unsealed before the throne, light burst forth, showing not just God's plans but also the enemy's strategies that had been surrounding your path like hidden barriers. Years that were hard to put into words. Missed chances that got away from you. Relationships that left scars hidden from view. But you know, heaven noticed, and heaven responded. This isn't made up. Some people wake up and sense a quiet presence in the room, a sacred calm, unaware that their name has just been mentioned in places they can't see. Some people have cried without really understanding why, not seeing that their soul is reacting to a battle being fought for them. You might be one of them. This message isn't just sent out of the blue. It was set just right for when you woke up. For a long time, some folks thought they could mess with what rightfully belongs to you. They quietly spread falsehoods about how valuable you are. They made boundaries to keep you in check. Isaiah 54, verse 17, reminds us that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Last night, all those whispers of accusation just faded away. All the fake alliances got revealed. So, there was this person close to you, right? In public, they had the sweetest words, but behind closed doors, they could be pretty cutting. And then, all of a sudden, their true colors came out for everyone to see. This isn't about getting back at anyone. It's all about justice, you know, divine justice. And when the truth came out, the hosts of heaven reacted just like they did when Christ stepped out of the tomb. Light burst in, sound rattled everything around, and joy echoed through the skies. The Lord has said, I will give back to you the years that the locusts have taken away. Joel 2, verse 25. This isn't exactly a promising outlook. This is something that's happening right now. Some people might question or doubt, but deep down, the Spirit knows. If these words resonate with you, it's not just about being convinced. Your soul just knows, doesn't it? Heaven's done its thing for you before, hasn't it? This is just the most noticeable. So, the gate is open, not a physical one, but more of a spiritual doorway. It doesn't burn with harmful fire, but rather with a glorious flame that cleanses. There are the angels, not just symbols, but real beings, ready for you to agree with what's already been set in motion. The Lord doesn't need your okay to bless you, but He does invite you to get in sync with Him. A miracle is right at your doorstep, but only those who notice it will step inside. So, there's this guy named Joseph, and you can find his story in Genesis. Can you believe it? He was let down by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and thrown in prison for things he didn't even do. But God was always there for him. And when the moment was just right, without any struggle or tricks, Joseph found himself in a position of power. His story wasn't really about seeking vindication. It was all about that perfect timing from the universe. Just like Joseph, the challenges you've faced haven't taken you out of the game. They've set you up. This isn't a new route. It's the ancient one, shaped by the hand of the Almighty, long before you even took your first breath. So here we are, with heaven as our witness and eternity keeping an eye on us. And the Lord says, the time is now. What was kept back is now out in the open. The stolen items are back where they belong. What was once hidden is now out in the open. What happened last night was more than just a change. It wasn't just a dream or some kind of spiritual experience that you could interpret in different ways. It was like a heavenly shake-up, something that couldn't be undone. Something was announced in the highest realm, and even now, you can feel it resonating through all of creation. Hidden worlds were stirred up. Thrones were all lined up, standing tall. The endless order shifted to make room for one blazing command. And still, the cry of heaven lingers this morning. Why hasn't the chosen one noticed yet? It was definitely not just another night. As the world slept and you wandered through the quiet, something old and powerful began to awaken. An urgent, fierce call echoed through dimensions that had never known rest. It's not a trumpet, and it's not a whisper. It's the voice of the Ancient of Days himself. When God's voice echoes, everything created comes alive. So, last night, that voice called together the divine council. The rooms were filled with a light so bright, it was almost blinding for anyone to see. Thrones glowing with an everlasting flame stood in a serious arrangement. And right there, in the middle of that courtroom, was your scroll. The story of your life laid out for everyone to see. What happened next wasn't really a ceremony. It was like a battle for what was right. An angel showed up, holding on to all the pain you've been through, every lie you were fed, and every betrayal you quietly faced. It feels like every promise has been broken without you knowing, and all those delays weren't your fault, but were just thrown your way. As Psalm 56 verse 8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You've gathered up all my tears in your bottle. You've jotted down every single one in your book. Everything was covered." God sees every loss, and no hidden sabotage goes unnoticed. Then Michael, the commander of heaven's hosts, showed up, not gently, but with the fierce strength of divine protection. His sword, shining like the stars, was drawn, not to hurt, but to separate truth from lies. With a voice that hushed every corner, he said, "This far and no further." The words weren't meant to be a warning. They were the last order. And when those words were said, it was like thunder rolling through the whole world. Structures that had held you back finally gave way at their base. It's like those invisible prisons made up of the words people said about you, the fears you picked up along the way, and those patterns you never really wanted, just crumbled away when faced with something powerful and transformative. It turns out you weren't aware of your ties, but heaven sure was. You might not have noticed just how long the delay was, but God definitely did. And just like that, with one word, the delay was gone. But what happened next really made even the archangels stop and take notice. A figure stepped forward from the assembly. A person connected to your life, someone you recognize, a reliable companion. This person you let into your inner circle had always had a different vibe when things were quiet. Even if you didn't catch their movements, heaven made sure to take note of everything. There are some hidden intentions, quiet alliances, and silent efforts that can really hold back your progress right from the start. They thought no one was watching, but heaven sees everything. When God's light filled the room, there wasn't a shadow left anywhere. Their mask broke, the web they worked to unravel. Their schemes were uncovered and assessed, not out of anger, but through a lens of holiness. And in that judgment, something totally unexpected happened. Your scrolls started to shine, not with flames, but with a sense of greatness. Then Gabriel showed up, the messenger of the Most High, shining bright like rivers of light. He took a step closer and unrolled the scroll that had your name on it. What others had written in defilement was wiped clean. They wiped away any signs of sabotage, leaving no trace behind. The betrayal you endured was overturned. The lies spoken against you were scattered like ashes. Heaven restored what was lost, and someone who thought they had authority over your blessing was exposed and removed. Psalm 35, verse 10, says, "With every bone in my body I will praise him. Lord, who can compare with you? Who else rescues the helpless from the strong?" And that's exactly what happened. You were defended in the courts of eternity while you slept. Don't move. Don't blink. Don't let distraction rob you of the truth unfolding in front of you. Michael raised his sword, shining bright like a bolt of lightning, and just like that, Every chain that wrapped around your fate was cut loose. Gabriel's trumpet definitely didn't play softly. It shot across the sky, bringing the sound of your freedom from one world to another. And the Most High said, "Make sure to tell them before the night is over, or the door will shut." This is why this message keeps coming your way. The heavens aren't just sitting around waiting for God to take action. God has already taken action. They're keeping an eye out to see if you'll reply. This isn't really about what God could do. It's all about whether you're ready to embrace what He's already accomplished. The veil is starting to lift. What's been kept away is just moments from connecting with your spirit. So, last night was a total game changer. But you know, the world didn't really let you in on that. It looks like social media didn't cover that. Your phone didn't light up with a notification. This moment was meant for the throne room, not for the headlines. Guess what? You're the first to hear this. The angels are amazed, not by the darkness that attempted to hold you back, but by the incredible light that shone through for you. They watched as doors that had been closed for years suddenly swung open. They noticed blessings that were once hidden come flowing toward you like rivers breaking free from a dam. They witnessed your life transformed in the flames of divine justice. They were chatting and asked each other, "Do you think they know yet? Do they notice the change? Do they realize that what was lost has come back? No need to wonder anymore." Job 42, verse 10 mentions, "And the Lord restored Job's fortunes when he prayed for his friends. The Lord blessed him with double what he had before." What you thought was the end turned out to be your turning point. What you thought was a loss was actually just the setup for a comeback. But heaven's just hanging out, waiting for you to wake up. Last night felt like a sacred reset. Every plan to hold you back was revealed. The one who smiled at you while scheming behind your back has been revealed. Their influence has come to an end. Their voices were quieted. Your name rose above the storms that tried to hide it away. Your life scroll wasn't just opened up, they rewrote it. The fire that changed your story is still going strong. It seems like heaven has already made its choice. It's time for the earth to align. You're right in the middle of a moment that was created long before you even came along. The angels definitely know who you are, no doubt about it. God knows exactly what your calling is. So, the big question is, are you going to check it out? Can you believe that? Are you going to stick around long enough to catch the whole truth that's been following you? Even if everything seems the same on the outside, in the spiritual world, things have shifted for you. What you thought was kept back has actually been let out already. Guess what? What you thought you lost is actually back with you now. What you were worried about is actually heading your way. Isaiah 22 verse 22 says, "I will place on his shoulder the key to the house of David. What he opens, nobody can close, and what he closes, nobody can open." So, last night, it felt like the keys were handed over to some kind of angel, and those doors that were shut tight against you, well, they've finally been opened up. And you know what? No one, neither envy, nor betrayal, nor darkness, can shut what God has opened. The archangels are still hanging out, their wings still fluttering a bit. They've experienced so much glory that they can't just keep quiet. They're watching, hoping, praying, and whispering. Make sure they don't miss it now. They're really close. That's why you might feel a little something inside you that you just can't put into words. Your heart is racing, and something inside you just won't let you keep scrolling. Your soul understands things that your eyes haven't discovered yet. You've hit the nail on the head. You've been through a lot that could have brought you down. But it was all worth it. Heaven was there, noticing every tear, gathering every cry, keeping track of every injustice, and reshaping your story with justice, mercy, and a bit of fire. Last night, a decree echoed through the ages. It's all done, and here you are, standing on sacred ground. From now on, every word we say really matters because of that decision. You're not just sitting around waiting on God to get started. It's time for you to see what He's already done. The next word is going to bring you what your heart has been waiting to hear. The next moment is going to lift the last veil. The truth you believed was gone has come back to you like a strong breeze. And the angels are still calling out your name. Stay tuned, because what's coming next is going to unlock the final chamber of the revelation. And trust me, your life will change once you hear it. Heaven has shifted. So, the decision is in, and guess what? Your name has been mentioned in the courts of the Almighty. Last night, while you were peacefully sleeping, something incredible happened in the realm of glory. A verdict was declared that was so powerful, it felt like it shook all of eternity. Archangel Michael stood tall and fierce, like a wall of fire, protecting all that is yours. A rumble like thunder echoed through time, signaling your freedom. It's finally time. The chosen one is finally free. And God, in all His power, said, "Let them know that after tonight, this moment will be gone for good." That's the reason you're here. Your heart has been feeling a bit restless, hasn't it? Why did you feel the need to stick around even when your mind was ready to let go? This isn't just a coincidence. This is perfect timing. You're right there, looking out from a window that feels like it stretches on forever. Every moment you spend here is filled with meaning. Each breath brings a new insight. Heaven showed us who was standing in your way. And that mask they had been wearing for years, it was ripped off right in front of the angels. What you're hearing right now isn't just about inspiration. It's like getting a message straight from above. You're really diving into a story. You're about to discover something amazing. Every second you spend here is getting you closer to the big reveal of what was decided in glory. And the archangels are still saying, don't let them turn away. Make sure they don't overlook this truth. Hey, this is your time to shine. This is your chance to take a look. This is your moment. Last night, a beautiful light broke through the darkness. All those chains that held your promise together are now broken. All those hidden delays were wiped away. And every stolen blessing started flowing into your life like an endless flood. The sky trembled. The angels were taken aback. And here you are, not even realizing all the good that's already been done for you. But now it seems like heaven won't let you stay in the dark anymore. Isaiah 45, verse 3 mentions, "I will give you hidden treasures, riches stored in secret places, so that you may know that I am the Lord." What was once kept under wraps is now coming to light. And you're starting to see the treasures that were hidden beneath the weight of false alliances and things you couldn't see before. Stay in a place where you can feel the connection to something greater, because the last piece of the truth is coming to light now. What the angels saw last night is being whispered into your spirit. Archangel Michael, the great warrior, stood at attention with a sword burning like lightning, defending what heaven had written over your life. Every lie spoken against you is silenced, every spiritual barrier destroyed, and every hand that tried to block your inheritance removed. Gabriel's trumpet didn't sound like music. It sounded like warfare, a statement that echoes through the skies. The chosen one is finally out. It's finally their moment. The wait is finally done. We really need to get to the bottom of this. And God said, before the night wraps up, let them know this is their last chance to witness what I've already accomplished. This message is reaching you at just the right time. Your heart is feeling that pull for a reason. That's the reason you're still around. You're tuning in because there's a part of you that just gets it. This isn't just any word. This is your word, my friend. What they wanted to keep quiet is now being heard loud and clear. They've reissued what they tried to steal, and now it has your name on it. What they thought they had buried is already coming back to life. Heaven is still talking. The angels are still close by, listening in. Every moment you spend here feels special. Every word you're hearing right now is filled with the intensity of divine justice.